Okay. Hello. It's 6, so hopefully this isn't too bad. Ellie here. I'm going to do a solo run of a seed I haven't played before. Um, just to sort of showcase a few things about rando races. So, really quick. A couple things you'll need to do these is you'll need the 5th Mats randomizer software found at Nexus Mods. And you'll also need a seed, and how to generate a seed is a little complicated for this format. We have a tutorial, a text-based tutorial in our Discord at Ignite, and the resources is the top post, the base game progression rando post. It's a little complicated though, so if you need a hand, have no fear because I believe Shura, now that I'm publicly calling him out, I guess I'll have to do it. I'm kidding. Shura will be the one to make a video tutorial on that, because I know, again, it's a little tricky. So, that'll come out soon. Otherwise, in the serious Discord, go against the pros. There's some C's that you can practice there, some small differences to our format that we can talk about as we play. So, a couple things you want to notice is the classes. You want to go through your classes, pick a good starting, idea is for lots of folks is to pick 2 things. Pick what you need to get started. Pick what a class that has some decent stats. Like this has a wieldable weapon right away, and it's cheap. And then it also has Bloodhound Fang, so it's really good. In the 2v2 format, only one of you can use a weapon. So once you kill a boss with that weapon is locked to you effectively. So your teammate couldn't use Bloodhound Fang to kill a boss and use it to kill another boss. Same with Meteoric Ore Blade, which is a popular weapon. I know lots of people. So I'm gonna pick this and starting gift, and I don't think what I'm going to do is necessarily the best decision in this seed, but it's gonna show you some core features of the mechanics of this format. So you'll notice something really quickly is instead of loading into Stranded, we load into Roundtable Hole with early graces and first smithing bell bearings were unlocked. So you get smithing 1 or somber 1 and smithing 1. Hi Az. We're going to talk to Corin, as Corin has a shop. So it is not a shop like most shops of spells. It's actually a random shop of assorted items, and you can replicate Ashes of War and armor, consumables, things like this. Doesn't matter. It's just weapons that you're locked to. So, stamp sweep could be something. I'm just going to do some quick menu move in here. So what I'm going to do, if this worked well, I'll pop this. One thing that folks like to do is because auto equip and our auto upgrade is on, rather. So we're just checking this for weapons. This is all rubbish. So off of the bell bearings. So then you'll see, boop, look at that. We can buy up to +6. Why am I doing this? Well, if we go to EG, not EG, Hughes, we could go to EG, and I'll go through that in a second. You'll notice that I'm going to make this longsword +6. You may be wondering, wow, Ellie, that's silly. Shouldn't you be making your Bloodhound's Fang wieldable for stats? Low-key, not a huge fan of the weapon. I think I'd rather not use it. So I'm going to sell a piece of armor. Perfect, 2,000. Ta-da! Now it's a +6. What does this mean? When we pick up a weapon, that weapon will either be a Somber 2 or a Smithing 6, which is really awesome for pivoting. So that's something you can do early in this format, is level up a cheap smithing weapon. Daggers are great for this. If you're not sure what you want to use, in this case obviously you would probably just run Bloodhound's Fang, but I wanted to sort of show some of the potential of early bell bearings unlocked. So let's talk races. So you'll notice Gatefront, Castle Morn, South Raya, Fort Faroff. Yeah, so we have all these graces unlocked from the beginning. This is really helpful, and Road to the Manor actually is another one. This allows us to speed up and accelerate the base game format in a meaningful way. You won't take this ever for a long time. I'll explain why as we do the run. This is purgatory. This doesn't win games. We avoid Leonine at all costs. Anyway, so the main goal of this game is to acquire in solo play 5 Great Runes and beat Elden Beast through Fair Missoula at Fire Giant, go through Fire Giant as normal. Or in 2v2, get 7 unique Great Runes as a team, and then you can go through Fair Missoula to beat the game. Great Runes, however, cannot drop in Farum and beyond. So everywhere else that a Great Rune could drop is where it would drop. You may be wondering, where do Great Runes drop? Boop. Ta-da! The overlay. A little bit misleading because Ashen Capital and Crumbling, so we ignore these 4 here. But you'll notice Agheel, Leonine, Margit, Godric, Smaragd, Loretta, Makar, Red Wolf, Renala, Elimer, Lanciax, Moog, Godfrey, Morgott, and so on and so forth. I'll just kind of pull these down, give a second. Every time you play a seed, if it's generated properly through our mod settings, you'll have this overlay that tells you every single check, as well that term used for where a Great Rune could be or an important item, such as Whetstone Knives, Wet Blades, Sacred Tears, Golden Seeds. You can check this at any time by hitting the equal sign on your keyboard, and it pulls it back and forth. Adula, so Post Estelle, that's also a check, and Moog. So, and there are also items, and there's actually no checks that are just key items, except for a few. So, the Dectus Medallion at 4 Feroth and 4 Height are both checks for Great Runes. Rusty Key inside of Stormveil is a check as well. Talking to Tanith in Volcano Manor is a check as well. And I think that's all the talkie checks. I think so, yeah. So, what are our goals? Twofold. What we want to do at the start of the game is we want to get to Altus as soon as possible, because when we get to Altus, we get the other bell bearings, only 2. We get Somber Bell Bearing. I already turned them in. We get Somber Bell Bearing 2 and Smithing Bell Bearing 2, which is great for our weapon. And it will unlock a whole bunch of graces that I'll go through when that happens, because it can be a lot of info at once. In our format, this is Ignite's format. When you kill Morgott, you are guaranteed to get the Smithing and Somber Bells Bearing 3. If you're watching this video to participate in the Serious Challenges event, Go Against the Pros, that is not the case in that format. So you have to find the bell bearings in mountaintops or find stones along the way, and we'll kind of go through how that works. So what I like to do in solo play is I like to go to Gatefront. If I was a newer player, maybe a little uncertain, you know, a little bit uncomfortable with some early running sections, you know, you'll see in a second the graveyards in Lyrinia can be a real pain in the ass. I would go to Limgrave, and I'm going to go set up Stormhill Shack. You may be wondering why. Margit and Godric are checks. There's a few item pickups on the way. And what a good example, right? So the shield, +6. Why? +6. Pretty cool, pretty neat. Stat recs are on, and you can't respec outside of Renala, and Larval Tears are still required to do so. So, like, I wouldn't, like, bank on that all the time, but some classes, like Vagabond here, for example, right, I have very good overall stat spread on strength and dex. A little bit less on the, you know, she's not a thinker, she's a bonker. That's an odd way to put it. It's fine, we're tired. You know, I have a lot of versatility in what weapons I can do. So, I'm not going to Stormhill now, like Stormvale now, over beyond the hills. I'm going to go through the graveyard, and hopefully, I'm looking for a few things. Mostly money. Remembrances can drop randomly, be randomly in the world. So those are obviously very valuable pickups. There's just random golden runes. You can find all sorts of valuable golden runes. You can also find garbage, like bloody flesh. Smithing ones, not as good. Okay, legendary. Ooh, an ancient smithing stone, really rare. Ooh, a smithing 3. That's good. 7's fine. I want you, please. And a somber weapon. So look, so that was a good example of that too. Somber +2, right? So won't be using that again. Donk, not think. I'll check Bernal because if we remember from Corrin and Roundtable, bro. Strafed. strafed. Ooh, I'm a fan of this weapon, so I'm gonna buy it. And you'll notice, bro, it ain't me, it's this fucking goat. Thank you. So notice even when you buy weapons, they're also upgraded from the shop. So I can't use this yet. That's fine. I'll figure it out. But I didn't get a whole lot from there, so now we set ourselves up to go to Stormvale eventually, which we may want to do. But now we're going to do some looting in Self-Raya. The reason that Stormvale has value, this is kind of a convoluted thing, so I'll try and explain it succinctly while I loot. As we play with a setting called bias. Bias means that checks that are considered deeper in progression in the game or have higher value because they have multiple chances to drop items like Great Rune Holders, Godric, Renala, Melania, or etc., have a better chance of dropping Great Runes. We play on 20 or 25%. Statistically, it matters minorly. The theory is still the same, so it won't matter. Sorry, my dog is yapping. Super excited today. We will, okay, kind of dope actually. So the goal is to kill, ideally, we're focusing on killing Great Rune bosses first, or as fast as we can, because Great Rune bosses have a higher chance of dropping Great Runes for our randomizer purposes. Why? Because they are an achievement boss. How did I not get hit there? They're an achievement boss, and they are a Great Rune holder themselves. Margit dies automatically when you kill Morgott. Spoilers, I guess, for those who don't know, they're the same person. And Morgott is on our main path anyway, because when we kill Morgott, we can get access to mountaintops. And when you kill Morgott, if you have Margit alive in your seed, i.e. you haven't gone to Stormvale and killed him yet, that's a fun one. You will get the check from Margit. So Margit is an important key, is one of the things on the overlay list, right, that we showed earlier. No academy key, that's okay. I'll talk about that in a sec. And so Margit's really helpful for that reason. So Morgott dropping Margit's items is good. Anyway, point being, you want to go kill Godric eventually. That's a little convoluted. I'll probably explain it better later on. Let's talk about Academy Key for a second. We've already talked about why Margit is good to save for killing Morgott. If you ever need runes, it's also okay to just kill Margit. The boss is usually lower scaled. So, Academy Key is randomized into key locations in Liurnia. Okay, those key locations are Vanilla, where we saw PCR Phase 2. Where the hell is the... whatever. The Dingbat Albus. The Albinauric Schmuck, alright, in Albinauric Village Land. Okay, he also is a chance to drop it. Loretta, the boss, whatever replaces Loretta, could also drop it. And then in this format, which is unique to most rando races and rando formats that we've done in the past, overworld dragons are also checks, so Smarog could drop Academy Key. So there's going to be two ways you play this format in 2v2, where one of your players will try and go Makar route, because Makar is also a check, although because he's not a character of importance and he's early in the game, his Great Rune chance to drop is low. But one of you will go Makar to check anyway. This is a fucking graveyard, I've ever seen it. Okay, we've got to be mindful. One of you will go Makar, one of you will go to Academy, because through Academy, you may be like, Ellie, how do you go through Altus? Well, Virgins. You can kill, even though Virgins aren't considered a check, you know, they have no chance to drop anything meaningful, in terms of like a Sacred Tier, a Great Rune, they are still, what am I looking for? A way into Altus, and that's kind of all that matters, right? And then the person who goes Academy, in this case, we will do that today, hopefully, gets to discover, what? Oh, cool. That's, I put it too close. That's not the game's fault. I'll skip this so I can talk. Academy will give you access to Red Wolf, Renala as checks, but also you can go to, through the water wheel system, you can go into Volcano Manor, through Virgins, through Altus. So the reason we're going to do that in solo is because you don't need all 7 Great Runes in solo. You'll need 5 to enter Farum. Renala is a Remembrance, a Great Rune dropper, sorry. And in base game, right, the Great Rune of the Unborn, and she's an achievement boss. So that's how we know what the bosses are going to be. All the achievement bosses are the bosses that can be checks. The dragons have been added in as a bonus. That's a little more complicated. Doesn't matter for now. Basic theory is what it is. And then we have Red Wolf as well, which is a less likely check, but still a check on the way to Renala. And then it gets us to Altus. And the reason we're going to do that again is because Makar has a pretty low chance to actually drop a Great Rune. And we don't want to go Makar and then have to double back and go get Academy Key later anyway. And holy shit, where am I going? Okay. It's just foggy. Take a bit of a water break. Okay. You ever see me doing the torrent slide there because I'm drinking water and I don't want to stop moving because although it looks ridiculous and is inefficient, it's less inefficient than not moving, so. Just for fun. I wouldn't normally do this again. What I'm just trying to showcase is that, you know, there's a lot of ways to get loot in this game. And loot is money. And I think I need 26. I think 18 is what I need. Maybe a little more. 19 strength for Run and Battle Hammer. Which I'll probably use over Blood Fiends. We're not going to grab that. I Kindred of Rot will just kill us. So. Okay. Just want to avoid that pesky Albineric. You could just quit out as well and run past. Quit outs are allowed in this format. Say a prayer, sorry Albus. What does he drop? Okay. No Academy Key, that's okay. Now we've done 2 checks. We've done our key item checks in the region, is the way we'll talk about it, right? We've done the Academy Keys vanilla location, to no avail, unfortunately. And we've done Albus, right? So now what we'll do is that because Smarog is a interesting boss because for some reason, FromSoft is cute and scaled Smarog to roughly capital scaling. And I don't know about anyone here. I feel pretty comfortable killing. Wow, absolute abysmal dog water. I feel pretty comfortable killing PCR phase 2 on a given day. I've killed him before in a rando race at Smarog, and he takes a long time. So I'm going to bank instead, to be efficient in time, that Loretta is going to actually have, hopefully, the Academy Key. If she doesn't, we're left with 2 choices. We go Makar, or we suck up and kill Smarog. There isn't a wrong answer per se. The most, effectively, the more efficient answer for checks will be to... Oh my god, graveyards are actually just so scary. And of course, why would you be a Remembrance? Why would you be money? Yeah, why would you? Oh, a Somber 4. That makes going Bloodhound's thing, or not going Bloodhound's thing, really troll. Oh wait, Q. Aha. Nah, you know what? We don't do it. We resist the urge to go Bloodhound's Fang. I'm not really good at the weapon, actually. Is another big thing. And I like the idea of doing smithing weapons often because you can go pretty versatile with your Ashes of War. Like, I think, for example, we've already picked up Golden Slam, meaning we have a Sacred Ash of War. So, I'm just going to pull something up very quickly. Where's my browser? eldensquares.com. Tools, Rotten Battle Hammer. So on our website, eldensquares.com, it was 18, I was right. We have a tool section that you can actually look up the weapon cost lookup, and it will actually just tell you straight up how much it costs to level up a weapon, both in terms of like every tier of stones, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, the runes cost, but also the amount that you need to actually be able to two-hand the weapon. For strength weapons, or like even the dex, and it's a very cool website, very cool tool. I'm glad we have it. So I was just checking up, but I was correct. It's 18 strength for Rotten Battle Hammer. Of course, I'm getting a phone call. What a cute time. 1 second. Sorry, friends. Oh boy, I'm gonna quit out so I don't die. That was unlucky. That was a spam caller, so. Good old area code that is unrecognizable to anybody. We love that. So I don't recommend necessarily that you run to Liurnia. That you go here to Loretto in particular, this low level. Sorry, I'm just taking a mint. Got a after dinner mint, you know, classic. It's as you can tell, it's a pretty enemy dense area, including this bridge. Oh, good. We always love when the examples show themselves. So I'm at pretty low vigor. You got probably saw that one guy almost got one shot. I've done a lot of these. I feel, fuck me. I'm gonna look like an idiot in a second. Yep. Okay. So I feel really comfortable, and even then unsettled by the idea of running across this bridge with a lobster and a grave bird. And looks like the pain doesn't quite stop there. Oh, I'm gonna die here. Yep. Cool. So that's fantastic. What a great example of what I was talking about in real time. So the reason you may not want to do this, and the reason it's a little risky to do what I tried showing earlier with the smithing weapon, is I actually lost like quite a lot of money. I effectively used almost 5,500 runes to get a weapon online that I have no intention of using, just to try and gamble that I will get a better weapon later. We'll quit out again. Which has its pros, right? Like you've seen, I've been able to get Rod and Battle Hammer to +6 right away, which is a more expensive weapon to upgrade. The con, obviously, though, is now I'm running, because the drops for the keys weren't good. Bro pushed me off, hello? The keys haven't been good RNG-wise, is now I'm running through Carrier Manor with really low vigor, and the enemies on the bridge, unfortunately, have not been kind. So I wonder. Okay, much better this time. I thought I let go of block last time. I didn't, so I got stamina broken, which is how that whole disaster happened. But now we're good. Aw, thanks, Charles. Appreciate the bits. Good evening to you too. Hope you're having a good one. A little less chat focus for me tonight as I commentate through, but I really appreciate that. Thank you. So we're here now. So we're gonna go back to Hugh for 2 reasons. Hugh allows for a really nice, easy. Oh, brother. We got Halig's free medallion. Okay, Ensha. Bro, Square Off is so good. Okay. we're gonna go to Hue, mainly because Hue allows us to sell quickly. God, we have really good talismans too, which is... Sometimes you almost want like bad talismans. Holy shit, he dropped America's Hammer. That's really good. That helps a lot. Sometimes you want bad talismans because you can like sell them for quite a lot of money. Because FromSoft's economy makes no sense. But let's sell these. We have Freezing Grease, which is nice. The Festive Grease we don't need as much. I'm gonna toss you away. And now we're gonna do a yard sale. Alright, that yard sale is just the term that we use for getting rid of a bunch of trash that we've picked up to help support our cause a bit. Oh, okay, I need to do this first. Because what's my strength? Oh, it's maybe already too late. We'll see. Okay, never mind, I'm a fool. So I'm going to play a little risky. I may regret it. You never know. And if I do, I can show you what you do if you do. I'm going to choose, because I found a bunch of smithing 3s. Fill up my weapon, 2+9. And then we're going to go to upper level, carry a manor. And so this has been a bit of a slower run. I don't want the time of this video or anything to deceive you when you're done watching this or if you watch this through. I would say most of these videos or most of these runs to solo are an hour and a half-ish. Once you get pretty comfortable with them, your first few may be longer, that's okay. The focus is just on getting some good runs in. However they go is however they go. But yeah, I have wanted to make... I wouldn't normally do Albus, for example. Albus doesn't have a great chance to drop stuff. I just wanted to showcase, like, that you can and that he exists, unfortunately for us. Drop nothing, little rat. Hello, Inquisitor. Anything here? Yeah, well, might as well. Yay. Oh, cool. Okay, so hopefully not the splitting avatar, but just in case it is, we'll put on some freeze grease anyway. I love the Regal Moose. Oh, just splitting avatar. Well, lucky for us. Didn't matter. We got a little glitch that killed him at half anyway, which wasn't needed, but was funny. Okay, yay. We don't need to suffer a PCR. I will port to the PCR though. I kind of want to show like what I'm talking about regarding the Smaragd scaling. For science, I'm going to spend my runes because I'm going to lose them anyway. So for reference, +9 smithing weapon, perfectly reasonable level to be killing Smaragd. You know, pretty on par for what you get in the game. But Smaragd isn't usually PCR phase 2. Smaragd is usually Smaragd. Yeah, that's a +9. And we're not, and this, to be fair, this weapon's attack rating isn't very good. Okay, okay, fake shit. Oh, we're gonna die here. Nah, we're just gonna mob like a coward. Thanks. So I was just gonna trying to show the damage, right? That would have been a really, really long fight, and obviously, like, I'm pretty competent at least for me at that boss on a good day. That wasn't going well off the rip. That's fine, but you want to be like mindful about that. That's kind of why we're leaving Smaragd as like a dead last check for Academy Key or in general, because capital scaling this early is pretty hard. One time we had a Soldier of Godric there though, and I death poker, and so I just hit the Ash of War button twice and he died, so that was kind of fun. But, you know, exceptional circumstances aside, you're not usually hoping to have to kill Smaragd for your key. Any consumes that are useful? Sure. Well, no, we're not going to use a rune arc, and we're going to die soon. On purpose this time. we're probably entering, so you'll notice as you run through here, or as you play a randomizer, bar none, for most people, the hardest thing to do is the running sections, because they're the most deadly. I mean, you know, little tip for quit outs. Randomizers are calculated as you see the IGT timer in the top right. And when you end the game, that is what you're going to use to submit like a score. You notice the clock doesn't run when you quit out. So that's why quit outs are allowed, and some would say even encouraged. I would agree. We're going to quit out to reset enemies here in particular, actually, because they're kind of nasty as 2 dogs. In Sirius's event, I actually think he may be looking at removing Grace and Door quit outs as an option, which is totally fine. So just be mindful of that. But in general, it's okay to practice getting comfortable with them. Oh boy, let's just hope. Oh, that's so lucky. Okay. I mean, totally skill. I totally made sure that Winter Lantern knew that this wasn't the tarnish to mess with today. Okay. Can I do the same with the Rune Bear? Or the Gravebird? Okay, so I don't understand how I'm not dead. That's not even being hyperbolic. I actually, like, don't understand functionally how I got that lucky. Nothing really did anything there. But, you know, if you think about it for a second, you move that Rune Bear to the doorway, you make that Winter Lantern, the enemies across the bridge, right? The randomizer, let's say, puts them there, shuffles them that way for me. Yeah, really scary. My hope for you is you never get a Cursed Academy. And again, like I said earlier today, if you do get like a really hard Loretta, Smaragd, your easier item checks like the Key and Albus didn't drop anything, there's like no shame in going Makar. Just when you're learning, just try your best to keep moving forward in progress. You can always come back and find the key later and still do Renala Red Wolf. It's slower, but it's doable. Boy, this is I've cooked a seed. I'll give it a try for fun. I had starting branches, or starting branches as a starting option, but I didn't pick them. I didn't expect this, obviously. The scaling's not too bad. You didn't do something that doesn't just hold your shield up, bro? Okay, I'm trapped on the banister. Oh. I wasn't far enough away, or... Bro, come on. Okay. This is fun. Okay. So one cheeky attack after you kill the summons, he always uses this. Unless I play greedy or I just mess up a dodge, I should be fine. You stop. Yeah, we get it. You're so cool. The reason I'm killing Red Wolf instead of going right to Virgins is because when I'm low vigor, or... Yeah, that's a bad dodge, Elliot. When I'm low vigor, I like to go kill Red Wolf for extra runes. You kind of hope, okay, well the scaling's lower, easy boss. The stagger glitch may happen. Yeah, there it is. Yep. That hit me, That was a far hit box. I was missing that one, actually. Please ride, okay. Yeah, unfortunately we got Nile. Not exactly what I would call the newest friendly bosses. That's what I'm saying, like if you're here, and you're like, wow, this sucks. Go kill Margit. You know, if you like, Margit's a great early kill. Hopefully the boss isn't too bad. Right. So I'm, you know, even that was messy, but I'm still comfortable not dying, so I'm gonna fight that. But yeah, don't be afraid to pivot. Is I think, but if you're going to pivot, try and pivot into some like progression-oriented ways. So pivot to Makar, pivot to Margit, pivot to places that are going to get you ahead in the game in some meaningful way. Limgrave checks like Leonine and stuff are not really map-oriented progression. What am I doing? So they're not the best places to pivot, but... Oh, and for those who don't know, you don't need to, there's no virgin, obviously, so, you just, like... Okay, that's awful. I had to tab out, I got a message I had to answer, and I have a choice, that sucked, that's fine. I just had somebody I live with tell me that they, I won't, you know, people know who I live with, some people, so I won't ruin their reputation. But, horrendous news, it's fine. Oh boy, this isn't worth it. Oh, brother. You know, I'm probably not gonna be at full health often anyway. I think I'm just gonna put on some stamina. Yeah, okay. This is a... I'm gonna die? Yep, you're not gonna... This is, this is pretty bad. These running sections are pretty bad. Usually, it isn't this brutal. I don't even know if I have any throwing, like, tools to stop, but, that's okay. This is another reason why I would say, like, Academy is sort of a more... Academy into Virgins as your wave into Altos is a little bit more of an advanced play or idea. Because, yeah, the scaling ramps up quite a bit here. I thought I hit roll. That's fine. Hopefully I can quit it and be fine here and heal up again and try that again. I'm also being a little impatient. Like, I could be hitting it. You know, maybe actually trying to fight it, push it into the lava with a hit. I wouldn't let me. I'm dead here. Okay. Battle hammers are good. Oh my god, no. Oh, thank god. Okay. Well, we figured a way out. Please not again. Okay. That was fun. But yeah, as you can tell, right? Running sections in Rando are often going to be the, like, scariest thing you do. They're going to be the hardest thing you have to navigate. So, just be mindful if you do die here. And you are having a hard time getting through Virgins, you can always go to, we actually get the Grace later. I think it's the Guest Hall Grace. Oh, that's, man, I really, funny. Sometimes you get, this happens in Rando, right? You see items you pick up and you're like, wow, that thing I abandoned, in this case Bloodhound saying, would have been real juicy. We got what? Greases, we got Alexander's Jar Shard, the good one, like the high one too, that's okay. Electo, okay. Not too bad actually. Just down a little bit. one of the reasons I would say this is a little more of an advanced idea. Your boss execution comfort becomes really much more important with this route. You know, I've had Metter here a couple seeds I ran ago, and we can only get up to +2 Death Poker, which, you know, Death Poker was a fantastic weapon for Metter. It's still Metter in Versions Arena, so... It's not too bad, just a long fight. You have to be careful with the Malekith style ability with the Black Knife. Because she can just do it at whim if you're not careful. You just have to tell. Like now she could do it after this. Yeah, okay. That will actually like piece you up and kill you pretty easily. Alright, there we go. So, really cool things can happen. You'll notice the drop is unremarkable. There's a Stone Sword keys, right? Oh no. We don't really care too much about them. However, the big payoff now happens. The thing we've all been waiting for. The moment of truth. Bam. Okay. So not only did we get 2 bell bearings, we got the +2 bell bearing, Smithing Somber. Once I buy my runes here, oh yeah, I guess Ensha's dead, so we can loot him. Thank you for the great item. I'm gonna level at EG because I think it's a little faster. I don't know if I can level up the +3. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, we're so close though. It's fine. You'll notice the graces. Okay, a little overwhelming at this part. Would overwhelm me too at first. So, Elmer is a check. Achievement boss. So, Shaded Castle. That's the grace we got. Outer Wall Battlegrounds. Important grace if you want to check the merchant. Important grace if you want to kill Lanciax, Overworld Dragon, right? As a reminder. I don't know if it'll let me do this. It was kind of buggy. There you go. Lanciax, right? Elmer. And DTS, who's not a check, but he's the way into capital. Guest Hall, Volcano Manor. That's the one before Noble and the Temple and the little fire city there. Lake of Rot, which is really cool. I'll show you a little feature later. We can use Torrent in Lake of Rot and Nokron as well. We get the Nameless City, which is where I like to go. And I'd like to go here immediately after getting Altus for 2 reasons. The first big reason, I think the most important one for me anyway, is this graveyard. And hopefully I get a Smithing Stone and I can show... Okay, well... You know what, the enemies have been unkind, so I will use Starfists, because I'm a weenie. That's good, actually, too. Okay. I mean, they gave me Starfists. I don't know what else to do. So, Fias Champs, for those who don't know, in the game, when you kill Fias Champs, you are able to go into Capital. So, I prefer that route for 2 reasons. Again, the graveyard and the item pickups on the way up here are really dense compared to the other way around. There are items on the way to DTS. And this is a little faster. And you'll notice I got a Smithing 6. I wasn't getting Smithing 6s in Liurnia or Limgrave. That's because one of the randomizer settings we have on that are really important to note is Smithing Stones and Somber Stones, effectively, scale with region. So Caelid has a chance of dropping like 4 or 5s and sometimes 6s. Altus can drop 6s, 5/6s, capital 5/6s, sometimes, but rarely 7s. Somber Stone's absolutely though in. Altus can be 5/6s, capital 7/8s, 9s. Here, I've seen 9s drop, 8s, 7s for Somber. 6s are the highest I've seen here for Smithing. And then Underground, so like Regal Moose area. Like Schiefer River, Nokron. That's usually been even like 7s and 6s as well for Somber, and then even higher. So I think it's ADM. So it must be the Starfish ADM. I think we're gonna chip him away with this instead. Okay, he'll just kill me. Maybe. Okay. You know what? This is good. I looked over on my other monitor like a bot for a second, so this is good, actually. Good little teaching moment. So let's say you run into Fias champions, and let's say, I don't know, instead of ADM, who's a little more of a gentler NPC on average, let's say you're like it's Rakshasa, which everyone loves to hate on, actually, even though I like her a lot, that's fine. But yes, to say, that ain't your jam, right? Well, that was actually a really good pickup. Somber 8, so good example of what I was saying earlier. If you find the Fias champion boss to be, like, a little not your taste, a little challenging, the hope is that you didn't really waste a ton of time looting. That's really funny. Because you've got pickups on the way anyway. Ominous Prattling Pipe. You know, you're able to sort of, like, you're making use of that anyway, even if, again, you aren't getting exactly what you wanted, you're at least getting something. This merchant has a Somber 5/6. We got picked up a free 5 already, right? So not bad. Not a bad Ash of War if you could use it. Not meaningful gear otherwise, but if you ever want to collect a bell bearing, you just do that. That means in the future, if you leave and come back, you can, you know, it's so cheap actually. Yeah, let's go ahead. You can always turn the bell bearing into the finger maidens the way you do with smithing your somber bell bearings. And then you can access that merchant's bell bearings at any time, which is very cool. So I don't do this pickup often, especially because I have enough stones to feel pretty good about killing my next target. But just wanted to show an example of another pickup of items as you run to DTS. Now we ball with this, I think, now. We may get a second talisman pouch and I'll switch, but until then, I'll just do this. What do we get? Oh, this could be funny. Oopsies. No hitboxes. I took a point damage from where? That's crazy. I'm not gonna be able to get the repose. No way. Oh, you know what? That's kind of good though. Okay. I don't know if I can pull this off. It'd be funny if I can. Cheeses are allowed in a sense. Like. Oh no, Ram. Watch out! Damn. That Ram. And I didn't get this. Oh, I get the steak. Okay. So, like, I don't know. Probably a stupid idea. It was sort of worth trying. He is a tricky boss to cheese off a cliff, but, like, if you had Melania here, and you were like, I don't know, I don't really want to deal with Melania's dumbass, you could try and throw her off a cliff. Alright, first of all, what else you got? Wow, I'm so bad with this weapon somehow. I haven't used this weapon in so long, Radon. No, my targeting. Bro, can you turn around? Okay, thank you. Well, didn't cheese on, now we're probably in a bad spot, so we can just die here for fun, but, you know, hey. I love this part. Ow. Okay, well, you know, cheaters never win anyway, or some stupid expression. I don't know anymore. It's fine, we killed them. So, in this case, you know, my weapon is better suited for Rudon than it was for ADM. I chose to do this, so I'm just gonna grab this Grace quickly. You don't need this one, you'll grab the next one. I just want to really quickly go to round table. Because I thought I had more sixes. That's fine. Oh, you know why? I know why I'm doing this, actually. Because you try and wrestle a Grace inside a capital, Melina chats with you, and I don't really want that, so. Yeah, unfortunately no Astral War. Would be really nice. Just anything to change even to heavy. Yeah, now, I mean, the run kind of speaks for itself in some ways. We're going to try and kill Morgott as quick as we can. When you kill if you kill Fia's champs, by the way, you spawn, like, here with your front side facing this door, so just, you know, I don't usually grab both items, but I at least turn around and grab the item on the altar there. Really quick one can be pretty valuable sometimes. Some people do capital skip. I think in 2v2 format, capital skip makes some sense for one of your players to do. It's mostly the player who is getting into capital second, because ideally, I'll just do the pickups as I run through. Your first player into capital is going to do some pickups for you, some item pickups. Let's just... So we grab this one. Okay. So thing 6. Nice. Only one more and we get to 18, which is very cool. Could be useful, boss depending. That's the avatar replacement. As you can tell, it drops an item the way the avatar does. Don't think you can put unsheath on these, obviously. That'd be very funny if you could. Okay, well, apparently you're quite a chonky flower despite your stature. That's okay, I don't judge. Be chonky. I didn't know those guys had a melee attack. Oh. Okay. I don't think I would be able to warp because those big mouth imps have really big radiuses for aggro, even if I'm not even close to it. Oh. Do I even care about plus 18? Not enough to warp out again. That's the gargoyle. Drops an item. Probably wouldn't normally do that. A National War, I can't put on my weapon, I'm pretty sure. Vacuum slice the use of swords, yeah. Yeah. Again, unsheath katanas would be pretty funny. Let's see. Well, I don't like this. Skill? Obviously, no luck involved there. This part's nice at least. Could have been like a Grave Bird or another Kindred Rot. Okay, I'm getting lucky. The Kindred Rot's kind of ignoring me, so. Oh boy. Fun duo this is. You are, oh boy, that's fun. Which one's gonna be passive for me? Okay. Bro, as I go to attack, as if. You get hyper armor during that attack? Actually bogus. Okay, you know, I'm gonna... Not complaining, but what? Okay, guess the loop then? No, we're done with loop? Okay. You can jump that, but I wasn't sure about my stamina, so I didn't bother. grab this Grace because um, I've had really shitty enemies up ahead, and this actual whole seat has had a low-key feeling of being cursed, so we'll just reset our flasks. But yeah, from enemy like quality, this has been pretty brutal. I don't know. Once I kill Morgul, I'll have a little bit more tutorial stuff to say. And then as I kind of go through areas doing checks, I will see, like, I'm not going to probably get hit by this guy, but it depends when he opens up with, I could. Or you could do that long poke that catches me off guard, like a real ass. So. Okay, so we will level some health up, just to be a little tankier. I know we're at only a +2 sacred tiers, but you know, it's fine. It's Leonine. Is it Crusader or regular? Crusader. Thought so. Washed, I got hit. The best part surely about randomizers, the names. I love that part a lot. Alright, there goes Morgott. Pretty easy. Okay, so we got a great rune. We don't know if it's Morgott's or Margit, but what we do know now is Margit is dead. So if we were to go to Stormvale and go to try and kill Margit Godric, we would just have the fog door open for Margit. And we can run right to Godric. And there's the bell bearings. So now we have our +3. You will get the rest of your bell bearings, 4 and 5, after killing Noble and Fair Missoula. So you'll do quite a lot of the game at +18 or +6, unless you find stones in the overworld, which is pretty easy. Okay, so Melina kind of gave us very little. I guess the Sacred Tear is nice. Thanks, girly. Appreciate you. My rule is 50 Vigor and 15 Endurance. I have this Talisman, so I'm probably going to go a little less. And now, more Graces. So, ooh, Castle Soul Main Gate, Foot of the Forge, Consecrated Snowfield, Halig Tree. Those are actually the only, like, 2 extra areas, so. I'll go Foot of the Forge first, because I want to show the most, like, stark change for lots of folks. So you see Fire Giants over there. I hope whatever ungodly horrors await me there are there. What's this? A portal. No location. If you're familiar with randomizers, by the way, this is like the cringiest bit ever, but it's fine. But where are we? Where can we be? Mountaintops of the Giants. On the other side of the map. Amen. So, portal's cool. Really important distinction I want to note here. Sirius's format does not have that portal, but does have the Castle Soul Main Gate Grace. 2 reasons why that's important. You can't come here through there, and thus Borealis through there is hard to do. Oh, hello, Tree Spirit. Goodbye, Tree Spirit. And in Sirius's format, you actually have to run through Castle Soul through the front entrance to do this check. Why am I doing Nile? 2 reasons why I'm going to start with doing some later game checks. Later being deeper in the progression path, right? So like, Liurnia is an earlier area, Limgrave is an earlier area, this is a later area. Nile, for those who know, has the second Halig Tree half. And so he, not only is Nile as a boss himself a check, you're really ruining the bit that you're supposed to be dead. It's crazy. Not only denial himself a check, so if boss Margit here will drop me something, could be a great rune, but the Hallery medallion after the fact will also be one, or could also be one. It will be some items anyway. So personally, I like coming now quickly, as it's one of the higher density or higher percent checks you can do after killing Morgoth. But be mindful, like sometimes the enemies here are shit, the boss is shit, I'm bad. That's fine. Wow, all that health. Okay. Washed bingo rando player. Almost dies to Margit. Fun tech if you roll those attacks backwards. You actually have a really good chance of baiting out that slam for the strafe. Alright, so let's see. Sacred Tear Golden Seed. Okay. Not what we wanted per se, but we're not gonna scoff at Sacred Tears and Golden Seeds. I'm gonna pop I was gonna pop this on the other, and I guess I will, although the timing seems not sensible now. Okay. This. So discarded palace key used to be a check in our format. The reason we got rid of that, so if I was to go open the discarded palace key, I'm like 90% to 95% sure if I did the settings correctly for the seed, it would be Darkmoon Ring in vanilla. The reason we did that is because in 2v2, right? Imagine the scenario. You're Bright-Eyed Bushy Tails playing your first 2v2 game, right? And you're like, I'm gonna go Makar. I really like that awesome dungeon of Precipice. And your teammate's like, that works so well for me. I really like hunting for keys and looting. Like your Vacrash, basically. Thanks, Vacrash. And you want to go find Academy Key. Perfect pair. And you're doing your run, things are going great, you're deathless, having a fun time, you're using your favorite weapons in the game, whatever they are. And then you're getting low on checks, and you start to realize, we haven't found... Is this going to kill me? Surely not, okay. We haven't found discarded palace key yet. And you're hoping, well, the player who killed Renala obviously wants discarded palace key, because they have the chest in front of them. Well, your Makar player had a lot of time on their hands, and they went to kill Radon. And then because they killed Radon, they had Underground opened up for them. Well, guess what Regal Moose dropped, or Valiant Gargs dropped, both checks Underground. Discarded Palace Key. So now, your team has a few... Goodbye. Your team has a few choices. Your Makar player can go into Academy, find the key, maybe the key dropped at Loretta, and work their way into Academy just for one check. Could be the last of the 7 Great Runes you need, though, so you may have to think about doing it. Or the opposite is true, right? And the player who killed Renala has to go and kill Radon and go underground and kill another boss just for fun to get the key. That sounds kind of fucking bad to me and to a bunch of us. And so in Ignite settings in particular, we remove discarded Palace Key as a check because we think it's ultimately a little too RNG and luck oriented. And of course, randomizers have RNG, and I hear this all the time when I talk about RNG and rando. But there's like a healthy type of RNG and a sometimes unhealthy RNG, and I think a bunch of us kind of intuitively said, okay, that seems a little unfun though. So if not unhealthy, it's definitely unfun. So that's why we don't have that as a check. But I will check in this video for posterity's sake, so I think it's important to do so. thought you followed me in. Oh boy. Clean Rot Knight of the Halig Tree. Yeah, you don't have to do it right now. I can just kick you when you do that guard thing. You know that now. So I'm just doing some checks. So the reason I'm coming to Halig Tree, again, one of the later scared areas of the game. You have hyper armor for that, brother? One of the later scaled areas of the game. Decent chance of great runes. Aha! And now, we're unlocking Alfell Inner Wall, because I don't know anybody who wants to run through the entirement of Halig Tree. That's a long run. And so you're kind of getting the theme here, right? Is that the goal of this rando format... Hello, Daniel. The goal of this rando format is to try and make the game as, like, relatively quick and accessible as possible. You know, we want people to be able to kind of, like, move quickly once they accomplish checks. And having graces unlock after you accomplish goals kind of accelerates in that speed, or assists rather in maintaining that speed of completion. And how bad does this look? I've had really bad Baby Lake of Rots. This doesn't seem too bad. Santa Bron ASIM, what? So the best, I almost was just going to record this on OBS, right, and not make a video, or not stream it live, but I figured, okay, what's the harm? I stream it live, like, you know, maybe people who want to learn on the spot can learn and ask questions, you know, I think a little more interactive. What do I have instead? I got ASIM asking about Santa Bron in my chat, so thanks ASIM. Hi Jam. I know Jam, you're not it. You're not it. I ain't worried about you, friend. And I'll upload the video, the full video, onto YouTube after, so it's not a Twitch VOD. But people trolling in my chat, you know who you are. 8, 11 smithing stones, not a single 7. We are truly in the godless world now. So, going to Melania now for funsies. Well, I don't want you to die in jam, so I want you to get lots of rest. Holy shit, another smithing 8. I believed. For a moment I had faith. I had faith for a second. I think you can only pop one rune here. Yeah, you don't get to greed to. A tragic time loss. Shout out Endo. Indeed. If you know, you know. So what I'll do is I'll make sure I do some checks that really focus on the progression part of the mods. You can kind of learn that way. Oh. Wait. Vike and K. Bruh. This is gonna be the hardest hitting Vike in the world. Appreciate you not buffing. You son of a bitch, you juked me. Oh, now you go to heal? Actual worst motherfucker. I had a good loop too. Wow, you are an interactive and engaging boss, and I'm very happy to see you. Why don't you do me a favor and, I don't know, ride a bike. I'm so sorry. I'm so dead inside. It's okay. Been a long evening. Busy day. Busy time of year. Oh my fucking... What? No, please. No big stick. I know you want to do your Ash of War. Bro, who are you rolling from? What demons possess you? That one makes sense. Okay, that was an Noxious, but he's dead now. So 2 great runes in Melania. Mwah! Chef Kiss. We love that. So, I want to show at least one of the areas that have this grace system, or this new, one of the new systems. You see how you kind of saw the progressive grace system there, right? You saw that I got Elfhell Inner Wall to get to Melania after killing Loretta replacement. One big one you'll notice is, what's that? Torrent? And Lake of Rot? Yeah. Walking's for plebs. We don't believe in it. And Lake of Rot is ableist, because if you have Torrent, you don't have to roll, you don't have to worry about walking. So, thank you, Torrent, for being a homie. But, wait, drip. So, yeah, basically, another really important grace progression system to consider is if you kill Radon, you automatically get Fort Height grace unlocked. And I remember watching Aggie and Chris stream their sort of like first seed in this in the serious format to try and figure this out and kind of prepare for the event. And they were like, that seems random. But quickly realized, oh, well, actually, like Radon gives you Underground, and then Underground, like, is really cool because there's more checks down there. So, yeah, that's like a pretty good example of why this grace progression system works. I don't think, just thinking, I don't think there's any others. I think, Melania, I mean, like, there is others after Fire Giant, like in Farum. I'll kind of go through that when we get there. Oh, I can't believe I'm getting an offer of views from whatever that name is, Ordinary Rat. Alright, bye, Ordinary Rat. Sorry. Yeah, I have a restricted jam, so that it's like it auto-detected them as like the invader of bands. Destroyer of worlds. Yeah. So far, format's had some, this seed in particular has had some tricky parts to it. Lots of early dumb deaths. They never really do the strength I want to do. Magic. There you go. Oh my gosh, what's that? What's that door? It opens. A mysterious door for the Traveler. No Dark Moon Ring? The Doula, baby. That's right. Peak gameplay changes to make you go faster. Yes, Daniel. To answer your question, I am doing the same seed because I was too lazy to generate one with the bar, and that bar stands for Boss Arena Randomizer, which is how we kind of conduct making these seeds merge with the 5th Mats randomizer. Big shout out to 5th Mat, by the way. Obviously, we iterate on the fundamentals he gave us, but you can never ignore some of the origins. So that's fantastic work of his to create these randomizers. But yes, Daniel, I'm running the same seed. Oh, first try. Because I need to babe, you know, I mean, it was tricky, but, yeah, not bad. So again, just noting, right, Adula is a check. My one underground is the Estelle we just killed. And I'm here because, again, deeper in progression, takes a little longer to get to. Thus has a chance of hitting a little higher. So... Wow, I love that move. Oh, understood. Can't think of the riposte is? None. That's fine. I understand. I don't hate you, Daniel. I'm just memeing. Let's try for the aura. Don't die. Okay, first part done. Look at that. Okay. Oh, again. We weren't done rolling in the air. I get it, man. If I could roll in the air like that, I would. That's fun. Hey, Daniel, that's why I'm making this video. In the video, I actually have some guides for, like... Not guide people. I mean, the whole thing's kind of a commentated guide, so I guess so, guide, but... I have some pieces on, like, how to pivot early, how to navigate, like, difficult bosses or areas that you're struggling in. I know that can actually be a big barrier for Rando. For people is feeling like they're not able to kind of keep up, so... Hopefully some of that theory applies for later stuff, but... for those who get, like, you know, I think one thing to keep in mind... Oh my god, really? Thank you. One thing to keep in mind for, you know, Rando racing, holy shit, we are schmovin'. By the way, this cathedral is a fantastic looting spot for 7s, 8s, etc. So that's kind of why I'm going back here. If I get a bundle of 8s, I swear to God. Ooh, peak weapon. But yeah, one thing to keep in mind is, you know, I like to tell this story where my very first Rando, one of my few Rando races, when I was learning the format beforehand, you know, the kind of last year, I had PCR phase 2 at Gold Free Arena in Capital, and I spent the better part of 4 hours trying to fight him until I killed him. And that was like a race, so obviously the players I was with at the time were much better than me, and they finished the whole seed within a couple hours. And I submitted my time. It looked so funny. Some people completing the seed at like an hour 30, hour 40, and then you have me submitting my seed at like 6:30 or something stupid like this. And I'm not saying you need to do that, but I am saying it's okay that you feel like it's hard. It is a hard format to get into. You know, you lose a lot of the control that Elden Ring provides when you randomize the format. And don't beat yourself up. Like, give yourself patience. You're gonna have some rough time. Like, it's not like being the worst thing you can do when you're struggling with starting a new skill. Like, I think, you know, randomizer and Elden Ring is a skill. Like any other, is give up and not like try, even if it's hard. I think that's kind of like really important. Oh, never mind. You know, like, you know, I know I've surfaced this whole game looks easy. The people who are good, like, really, you know, by good I just mean experience. Really, that's the language we probably should be shifting away from good and bad and more, you know, experience, inexperience. Because all of us are inexperienced at a time. Like, the best players in the world at anything, best people at anything were bad or, like, you know, struggle at first. That's just how it is. Wow, what a fun opening move, Moog. Lord of Bitchless. Why don't you come over here? Give Mama a hug. Thank you. pretty sure this is Sewer Moog. No status effect proc. I think it spawned this back to me. Oh yeah, we would have blood by now. And he would have obviously done the phase transition, more importantly. Reason I'm killing Fire Giant, by the way, I have 4 Great Runes. Fire Giant has a chance to drop 1, so what I don't want to do is kill, go get a Great Rune at Godric, for example, or Radon, and then kill Fire Giant, and Fire Giant be a Great Rune, and then me being at 6 instead of the 5 I need. It didn't drop a Great Rune, which is okay. Strategy-wise, I think it's the kind of the more like, I guess you could say quote-unquote correct play to do what I just did. If it was a Great Rune, right, I would be coming up here and going to Farum right away. You know, it isn't. Unlucky, as we would say in Rando, but that's okay. We're chilling, having a great time. Who doesn't like fisting with Starfists, you know? I will show one more thing, kind of an important one, and then I'll go kill Radon because it's another, like, grace mechanic piece. You can technically, like right now, I could hit Talk to Melina and trigger the Farum Azula, tree burning and make my way whole through. I think I could even enter Elven Beast technically at 4. I'm actually not sure about that. I think maybe you still do need file. No, I think it is. I can't really change the file settings for 2v2 or 1v1. I'm not going to, because that would be cheating. No, no, no. And that's kind of a cool thing of, you know, silliness aside, is that we rely on the honor system and we trust each other. Also kind of why we stream our games and ask people to stream their games, is it promotes some of that trust building. You know, it's a person agreement, and you'll hear the word gentleman's agreement to shift the language a bit. You know, it's a kind of an agreement between our people and all the players that, you know, hey, we are able to go, we know we can technically go through Farum Azula the second we kill Fire Giant. There's nothing mechanically in the game stopping us. Nothing mechanically in the game stopping us from necessarily burning the ceiling tree down and then going and killing Radagon, sorry, an Elven Beast. But we won't, because it's not, you know, it's a part of the rule set, and we think it's hard to mod that, and so we still rely on folks, you know, playing fair, and I think that's kind of cool. So, okay, I hate this part. I think one day, soon TM, maybe, no pressure, on our modding team, which I want to shout out as well in a second. We may think about getting, like, the Grace Inner Ionia over there in the Rot Swamp by Neil, which would be fantastic. It would kind of make this run a little less egregious. But, what in the Tarnation? Oh, yeah, okay. I wondered if it's Dragon or Archer, one or the other. So yeah, as I'm kind of doing this run towards Radon, and also go kill X-Ice to kind of show, like, an overall dragon check and what it can drop. As according to this, let's see, we have, where are we? Kaled 3, so, X-Ice, am I done? Kaled 3. Oh, no. Oh, Grail, yeah. We don't count Dragon Bears on its own area. Grail replacement, Flying Dragon Grail, not the Mama Grail. The Flying Dragon replacement is a check as well. That's the third part of Kaled. Oh, Nice Cav. Yay, you can have fun over there. You walked real far, Nice Cav. I guess that's Glaive, so I'll give you the benefit of you did. I'll grab this Grace, if I can find it. If I actually? Okay, well, I really overran, that's okay. Boop. Yeah, big shout out to Sci-Fi Code in particular. His Twitch is that handle, Sci, PSI, Phi, PHI Code, one word. He's one of our martyrs. Incredible guy. Is the one of the only reasons we're able to do some of this stuff at all. Created this progression mod for Sirius's event, and I know Sirius is shouting him out too. So it's really awesome. Um, Another big modder that streams is Harv Souls, HARVSOULS. Oh wow, you really moved far away, didn't you? You actually took a whole fucking gallop in Soul XX's arena. I thought, yeah, I'll camp here. What a guy. Yeah, Harv Souls is awesome. Streams weekly, like, streams these Rando races. Cast the Randocalypse French event that's going on right now. The Rando Deathless Use What You Get event, not the actual like individual challenge, but the Randocalypse speedrun event. Yeah, no, fantastic guy. Has done a ton of the back end modding with Psy and has supported a lot of people in learning the stuff of the mods. Also, as you can see, right, Sacred Tier. 1 out of 3 Kaled, so Golden Season Sacred Tiers you've been noticing are from bosses. But and then in the last one is Itshura, ITSSHURA. He streams on Twitch as well, less frequently, but he's been streaming the races when he's in them for the most part. I called him out at the beginning of the game playfully. He'll be making a guide video for how to set up seeds for yourself. Fantastic dude. Really helpful with routing and just coaching and figuring things out as well. And for those who know and who watch this in the future and who have played it, he's one of the co-inventors of the very first Nightmare Seed, along with Nexus up next, who is not really connected to Rando too much. But yeah, I mean, I think we have a really lucky team of modders, and I don't think we would be able to do. Well, I know we wouldn't be able to do anything in the capacity we do and offer without them. So really thankful to them. I thought it was important to shout them out for this video. So if you're worried about, I mean, I'm pretty, my character is well built now, have lots of health, endurance, damage. So I'm not going to grab that Grace. If you come to Rando a little earlier and you're like, oh, maybe this boss is a shit boss, maybe I'm not very good at it, I want to come back more powerful, you want to grab that Grace because you don't want to do the run I just did again. One thing in Rando that you can avoid doing early is skipping on the way Graces in dungeons and running sections, because it's really, really easy. Excuse me, sorry. Oh, awesome. It can be really easy to die, and running through sections all over again is one of the bigger time losses you can take. Water, water, water. Okay. Let's see what Daniel is. Mariga. Oh boy. She stinks. Dope music though, so. That was fast. Tragic. Hey. Lots of golden seeds, no great rune. So, that's okay. Where's the Grace? So you'll see. Fort Height is unlocked now. That's kind of one of those features I was talking about, which allows you to check Fort Height, the deck is half, as it's similar to Fort Faroth, right? And then go underground. But what I'll show is I will show the market piece for those who haven't Rando raced before. Kind of cool to see that and understand how that works a bit better. I also kind of maybe explained it poorly because I'm again, it's been a long long week and sleepy day. So I was hoping to get this going earlier, but unfortunately had some adult stuff come up that made it a little tricky to get started. So. And voila, Margit is gone. The fell omen has been vanquished at Morgott. So, I am again, efficiency-wise, there's a lot of merit to doing this in solos, killing Morgott so that Margit is dead already, and you get his drop, Margit's drop at the Morgott replacement kill. If you're this, this seed for example has some rough running sections. The money was pretty middling. I would have no shame in killing Margit. At least checking out what Margit is, what the replacement is, and seeing. Oh, okay. No problem. Now, while killing Margit could be recommended, going farther than that could be tricky. I wonder if we'll see why. Kinda. I mean, the items are nice. We have a bit of a couple tricky enemies. Nothing big. If I was doing that item, that Kindred of Rot would be more dangerous. That Troll would be more dangerous. Just want to be careful that Storm Veil itself can be a really easy death trap. Ow. I would love if you didn't do that to me, Mr. Bloodfiend. Oopsies. What is that? Oh boy, my favorite duo. A duo that backsteps and a duo that always throws shit at you. I hate the Nox duo, man. They're so boring to fight. Luckily I do so much damage, doesn't matter. Well, I'm in combat, so I will quit out. Well, we could go underground. Oh, you know what? To my dismay, we will. There's one more change in underground that I think is useful to show. It has to do with the Mises, little mooses, so. We'll show that. Unless Fort Height is a great rune, surely. Then we won't. I'll just explain it otherwise. But. Apologies for the yawning. It is, yeah, like I said, it's only 10 o'clock Eastern for me, 10 p.m., but, yeah, I guess I didn't sleep well, and I've been going to bed around 11:30 midnight most nights this week, or, well, last week into this week, so this is a bit of a unusually tired evening, but also what I'll do, by the way, as well, I will make a 2v2 video, assuming the teammate I get when I play my next 2v2 of this format, their permission. That'll be less of a commentated video and more of like a back and forth. Just so you get to see what the format is like in the 2v2 sense. You get to sort of hear what it's like to have comms with another player. You know how you kind of bounce between the checks and stuff together. Those are kind of really cool and important things to learn. So I think that'll be my next. Again, assuming my partner is that I get comfortable with that. Yeah, I'd like to do that too. It's so funny I mentioned to Sai. Um, I asked him because again, like we can torrent. Excuse me, sorry. We can torrent through Lake Rot. We can torrent through Dragon, like the Noxella on the way to Dragonkin. Um, but we can't torrent here. And I was thinking about it after I kind of put that together, and I was thinking, well, okay, like I get it makes some sense. Like this actually can be an area of some danger when running through. The other area is less so, and so maybe there's some like intentionality there to try and make it more of like an actual area to navigate and with some thinking. Um, but I also was like, oh, okay, that could all be true and size intentional like that, so there's no reason to think it wasn't. Or he could have forgot. And then it's funny, I asked him today, at the end of a race he did, and I was like, hey, Sai, what do you think about this? Is this something you guys thought about and just decided not to do? And he was like, oh, no, we just never thought about it. And I'm like, oh. Okay, cool. Because torrenting this place would make it easier for my brain to feel convinced to come down here, even though there's a lot of reasons to come down here. If you look at the overlay, underground is 5 checks, right? So that's, I think sewer mode counts as one of those. I can check in a second, but it's definitely all 4 of these. Oh no, it isn't. No, obviously not sewer mode. It's Dragonkin. So yeah, with Dragonkin, Estelle, here it's like 3 other checks. So, and there's a Somber 6. So, kind of what I was saying earlier about the region stuff. Underground has a lot of good smithing stones. What? Yeah. Oh. Why do you hit so hard? What's that? Okay. So I'm gonna try. Sure, it told me a route that he does for this area that I kind of want to try. Could be cool. Saw ASO Nexus going online. I have a feeling they're probably doing a 2v2, which is a-okay. I don't know if this is the right torch that you light. I don't know how much it matters, but because the goal is we want to do Valiant Gargs and Real Moose. So you'll notice, by the way, I only lit 1 torch. You may have noticed after I lit a torch that I got a message saying that a great power has opened up, or whatever the exact message is when you light the torches in this area. We've made a significant change, I think, but an awesome one, where a single brazier enables you to access Regal Moose and any of the 1 brazier of the 6 braziers up top here that you need will open Regal Moose up, and 1 of the 8 braziers heading towards or like by the little moose area, the regular ancestral moose boss, will open that up. So again, like the goal of this format, reduce tedium, let runners go fast, and kind of figured this would be an easy way to do that. So Oh, I was actually thinking I kind of want a fight that's like a little, not like I mean challenging, but it's more like stimulating and starting to be awake. So too bad I bully her. I'm bad. Ow. What? I feel like she canceled an attack to do that. That was crazy. Also, that did. Of course, you're gonna heal catch this. Wow. Okay. Guess we gotta wake up a bit. It is the rock that's fucking that up. Or I'm moving too far forward. Bro, I'm so bad. Wow, these weapons are... No way that missed. Oh my god. The sloppiest Mania fight of my fucking life. For sure. Okay, glad she's dead. Okay, so because we light one of the braziers, and we got this grace here, I haven't done this run before, but I believe you can run up here. Oh yeah, there you go. An Omen Killer and 2 Crystallians, eh? Okay, perfect. Look at that. Pays off. So I got 5. So perfect. I can show you what the end game of this looks like. You know what? Considering I did a lot of time waffling about it and explaining and all this won't be a super bad time. And this is on the longer side, but I'm also, as you can probably figure, that I've done this a lot now. So again, the time isn't as important. What's more important is that you focus on having fun and just learning bosses and routing and stuff like that, and try and complete them at first. So, instead of having to run all the way through Farum, Dragon Temple Grace is unlocked. I don't know why I do this to myself every time. We can just take this. Alright, Devonia. So a couple of the things we've done in this format, in RTVs, we've added some things as bosses that aren't normally bosses. Devonia is one. Let's be honest, we fucking should have been one of the coolest Crucible Knights. Jeez. I'm rusty at her. I feel like that attack was meant to hit you, the fucking hilt. Yeah, Devonia and Divine Beast Warriors or Bird Warriors are two bosses that we obviously added in that aren't a part of the base game boss list, but they're fun to learn. Oh my god, you still go on an attack, okay. So you may notice beside the Great Bridge, that is the bridge on the way to Malekith. I'm going to just turn in our bell bearings. You may also notice we have Summerstone Bell bearing 4 and Smithing 4 as well. You may also notice I should buy them, eh? Oh, I was gonna say something. Okay, man. That's okay. Oh, I forgot to buy something. 1 second, I'll have to go back and show you because it's kind of an important thing to shout out. After you get to Altus, this is something that I should have explained a little bit ago, so apologies for that. When you turn in the bell bearings for the Somber 2 bell bearing or the Smithing 2 bell bearing, the Finger Maidens that Round Table hold sell Crack Crystal. I didn't turn it in. I think it's Somber, yeah. You buy 10, and what we're going to do, you'll do this every time. Go to item crafting. Crystal darts. You can buy unlimited crack crystal from Round Table. The reason we're doing this is because if we find a watchdog boss, and that watchdog is like watchdog with imps, if the watchdog is watchdog duo mixed with like another boss, a perfumer, crucible knight, misbegotten, whatever the case is, if you toss crack crystal at it, I believe it's 4. The watchdogs will basically become like pseudo mind controlled and start attacking their teammates, and doing really massive damage. Bro, the Romina scaled ones, these guys hit me every time. Boo him. Ooh, a spawner. Boy, a spawner. Oh. Oh, you. Okay. Oh, I just lose the opening. Yeah, I thought I could agree with the second charger too. Um, that was scary. I'm like, oh cool, where am I? Ezra's here. What an awful... Bro, he loves tanking. Okay. So we'll quit out to save some extra time. If you're wondering, by the way, why how we get the noble, the Godskin duo story, Malekith, Horalud not dropping great runes, even though they're achievement bosses, which is sort of one of the criteria for being a check in rando racing. Also, of course, you manually set the checks yourself. Is because we've given them their vanilla items, and so when you give them a vanilla item, i.e. the Black Flame Tornado rather, is not randomized, that stops it from dropping great runes. Malekith's Remembrance, when it's not randomized, it stops it from him from dropping a great rune. The random, Remembrance rewards, like if you were to bring that to the Finger Maiden, would still be randomized. Although by the time you're at Malekith, I don't know exactly why you would do that. Unlikely you would need to. But yeah. We are almost done. We have Gideon, Horalu, and Alden Beast and Radagon left. Yeah, pretty good seed. A little bit on the longer side. Solo against some bad deaths in the running sections, and definitely spending some time chatting, so that's good. Yeah, hope you have fun. If you do watch this video and you have any questions, feel free to message myself, Elmis, or anyone else in Ignite. We'd love to help. Morgoth's not my best fight, I'll be real. Okay, guess we'll wait though. Okay, can you please stop yapping? We need a Starfist, so it's like, well... That was early. I knew it was early too when I rolled. I'm like, oh, that's not a good roll, Ellie. Okay, that was fine. Starfists are just so good. Like... A god. What an awful human being Gideon is. Truly the most villainous, or one of the most villainous. Okay. Let's see what this is, shall we? Okay, spawner. Oh no, Bloodhound Knight. Ooh, one cool distinction. I don't know if it's cool. These are some pretty messed up things in arenas. I believe Sirius has the difficulty curve on. And to do that, he actually has some bosses that we don't have, like he had in his Black Knife. And maybe remove that. Go through with ads, I think he has though, as a part of that as well. So my point is that when you do difficulty curving, sorry, when you do difficulty curving, it kind of means, sounds like what it sounds like, is that bosses later on become, on average for randomized, to harder bosses. So you'll see like more like higher scale things like Placies, Millennias, PCRs, things like the Valiant Gargs, things like this. In our format, we don't have that because we've decided to actually take out some of the bosses that are kind of annoying. They go something with ads and in this Black Knife and things like that. But I'm actually gonna start practicing, I hope, with some of the seeds that Sirius put in. I kind of you need to get used to having some longer fights at the end. All right, I'll wrap this up and then I will just sort of showcase the etiquette for finishing a seed. I'm so dumb. Let's maybe cool and walk it. That's not really dumb. Let's just wrap the seed up. That was a weird pit there. Kind of funny. Okay, what do I get for phase 2? Oh, real Moog. We know that because we don't have any duplicates, and we fought fake Moogs, super Moog, earlier in the seed. So oh, the one cycle, let's go. Alright, so now that we're done, we can quit at Demigod Feld. You're not quite done yet. Speedrunning rules for Elden Ring require that you quit out at end credits, or you end your run credits at end credits. So we'll skip, touch the America statue, boop, skip. Really blinding, unnecessarily bright light. Credits, and for us, in our ending, and Series Ending 2, you cut out here. That's it. That is your basic tutorial, commentated walkthrough guide, playthrough guide of base game progression randomizer. Hope you liked it, and again, if you have any questions, please feel free to join Ignite and ask, or just ask anyway. For you're probably a part of it anyway if you're not, but I will answer any questions you can. I'll post the link to the Ignite server in the YouTube video when I upload it as well. And like I said earlier in the video, I will be hopefully uploading a 2v2 version of this format, where you can sort of see the back and forth of my teammate and I coordinating. And I'll also probably upload one more video. I'll be doing Sirius's format, just to highlight some of the small changes and sort of showcasing the challenges that can come with that too. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate that. Hope this is helpful when folks do watch it as well. I hope you have a lovely evening. Come join us for Rando Racing. It's a lot of fun. We're more than happy to help. And yeah, take care. Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.